The richest 10% own 89% of all stocks in the United States. Yet most Americans are taught to save money in a bank account that loses value to inflation every single year. This isn't an accident. It's a system designed to keep wealth concentrated at the top. Today, I'm exposing 13 wealth secrets that the elite use to maintain and grow their fortunes. These principles will challenge everything you've been taught about building wealth. Several of these strategies completely contradict conventional financial wisdom and might transform your entire approach to money. What you're about to learn has been intentionally kept from mainstream financial education. Secret number 1. Don't use your own money. Ready for secret number 1? It's surprisingly counterintuitive. The wealthy rarely use their own money to build wealth. I know what you're thinking, but I barely have enough money to cover my bills. How could I possibly use someone else's money? This is where OPM, other people's money, comes in. The wealthy understand that leveraging other people's capital allows them to control assets far beyond what their personal funds could acquire. Take Elon Musk as an example. When building Tesla, he didn't fund the entire operation from his PayPal earnings. Instead, he invested a portion to secure investor confidence, then attracted hundreds of millions in additional funding. Why risk 100% of your own capital when you can risk just 10% and control an asset worth 10 times more? Can you imagine the growth potential when your returns exceed borrowing costs? Secret number 2. Build your assets in the right order. While leveraging other people's money is powerful, there's an even more fundamental wealth secret that most people have completely backward. Did you know the wealthy build their fortunes in a precise sequence, and it doesn't start with money at all? Building wealth is like constructing a house. You need a proper foundation before walls and a roof. Most of us are taught to pinch pennies and invest early, but the wealthy understand that financial capital is actually the last type they develop, not the first. The truly wealthy build wealth in sequence. First, intellectual capital. That's specialized knowledge. Then, social capital, key relationships, followed by human capital, teams that multiply efforts, before focusing on financial capital. Take Sarah Blakely, who started Spanx with market knowledge, not wealth. She built relationships with manufacturers, assembled a small team, and transformed her $5,000 investment into a billion-dollar empire by following this exact sequence. Each form of capital amplifies the next. Knowledge attracts connections. Connections help build teams, and teams create returns beyond what saving alone achieves. Secret number 3. Take calculated risks when others won't. While conventional financial wisdom preaches safety, wealth creation often follows a counterintuitive path. The ultra-wealthy don't merely tolerate risk, they hunt for hidden opportunities where others see only danger. Capitalizing on specific conditions most investors overlook. During economic downturns, research shows wealthy individuals display remarkably different behavior. While average investors panic sell at market bottoms, the affluent maintain their nerve, swooping in to acquire distressed assets at bargain prices when fear dominates the landscape. Market crashes like 2008 and 2020 reveal this pattern very clearly. As most retreated to safety, sophisticated investors deployed capital into undervalued real estate, struggling companies, and emerging technologies, recognizing that fear creates inefficiencies with potential for asymmetric returns. What truly separates the wealthy isn't recklessness, but their mastery of intelligent failure, transforming setbacks into valuable learning opportunities instead of defeats. They identify situations offering limited downside yet unlimited potential, turning strategic risk-taking into an art form. Secret number 4. Debt is a powerful tool, not a burden. Those market inefficiencies weren't exploited with cash alone. What if the biggest wealth secret isn't about having money, but borrowing it? When you've been taught that debt is a 4-letter word to avoid at all costs, the wealthy see it as the most powerful leverage tool in their financial arsenal. Statistics reveal a telling contrast in debt usage. Lower-income households typically accumulate consumer debt through credit cards and personal loans, while the wealthy strategically borrow to acquire assets that appreciate or generate income, distinguishing good debt from wealth-draining bad debt. Consider the real estate investor who places a $50,000 down payment on a $500,000 rental property. When that property generates 8% returns against their 4% mortgage, they're not just breaking even, they're building wealth through borrowed capital. This approach explains why 35 to 50% of wealthy individuals' net worth resides in real estate, property they finance rather than buy outright. During financial crisis, they secure additional financing to acquire discounted assets, while others panic sell, asking not can I afford the payment, but will this borrowed money generate more than it costs? Secret number 5. Keep housing costs surprisingly low. Speaking of wise debt strategies, let's flip the script to another surprising financial habit of the wealthy. Now, when you picture millionaires and billionaires, you probably imagine sprawling mansions and luxurious penthouses. Yet surprisingly, many truly wealthy individuals keep their housing costs remarkably low compared to their means. While the average American family allocates nearly 30% of their income to housing, many millionaires maintain their expense below 10%. Freeing substantial capital for income-producing investments. Consider Warren Buffett, who still lives in the same modest Omaha home he purchased in 1958 for $31,500. Despite his billions, he finds this home provides everything he needs. This pattern of stealth wealth appears consistently among the genuinely wealthy, maintaining a low profile while focusing on asset accumulation rather than status symbols. Secret number 6. Stop idolizing people, possessions, and status. That practical approach to housing points to something even more fundamental about wealth. The truly rich don't worship brands or status symbols. It's perhaps the greatest paradox of wealth. Those who actually have it often spend less on appearances than those desperately trying to look rich. The genuinely wealthy are rarely the ones chasing designer shadows in shopping malls. Instead of flaunting luxury logos, they invest in substance, assets that appreciate rather than depreciate. Consider the tech billionaire in worn jeans and a basic t-shirt, contrasted with the indebted professional in head-to-toe designer wear. Wealth is the ability to fully experience life, Henry David Thoreau noted, capturing the essence of true affluence. This insight explains why you'll often find millionaires in modest clothes driving practical vehicles. They're playing a different game entirely, while status seekers drain their accounts on premium-priced items to impress others. The wealthy evaluate purchases based on utility and investment potential. Every dollar spent trying to appear wealthy is a dollar that could have been invested in becoming wealthy. Secret number 7. Everything is a projection of someone's reality. Beyond material possessions and status symbols, there's a psychological insight that separates the wealthy from everyone else. Have you noticed how financial advice often reveals more about the advisor's limitations than objective reality? Everything we hear about money comes filtered through someone else's experience. Wealthy individuals recognize these financial blinders in action. When someone says investing is too risky, they're not describing the market, they're projecting their own fear of loss. As Harv Eker noted, rich people believe they create their lives, while poor people believe life happens to them. This mindset allows the wealthy to evaluate advice based on results rather than emotional appeal. By distinguishing between financial truths and others' projected limitations, the wealthy develop a powerful mental filter. Studies confirm those who focus on opportunities rather than obstacles consistently achieve better financial outcomes. Secret number 8. Ask questions that others don't. Rejecting limitations is just the first step. Wealthy people take things further by asking questions that most never consider. Some inquiries are direct, others more subtle, but all unlock doors most never see. This tool costs nothing yet creates extraordinary results. When a bank offers standard mortgage rates, most people sign without hesitation. The wealthy, however, challenge these norms. What would make this deal more attractive for both of us, they might ask, or how could we structure this differently? You might walk into the same financial institution as a millionaire, but leave with completely different terms simply because they dared to ask. This questioning habit extends beyond negotiations. They constantly challenge conventional wisdom, uncovering opportunities invisible to others. Research shows they strategically frame questions to understand underlying motivations, building deeper relationships with potential partners, connections that lead to even more opportunities. Secret number 9. Go deep instead of wide. Those powerful connections lead us to another counterintuitive wealth principle. While everyone preaches diversify, 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 the ultra-wealthy follow a radically different approach. They specialize with laser precision, like a surgeon's scalpel, rather than a Swiss Army knife. Warren Buffett became a billionaire by mastering value investing, not by dabbling across industries. Bill Gates dominated software first, then expanded later. The wealthy follow this pattern because they understand that excellence in one field yields exponentially greater rewards than competence in many. They employ a T-shaped approach, developing profound expertise in a primary area while maintaining enough breadth to identify unique connections. This specialization creates a compound effect. Being in the top 1% of practitioners in a single field unlocks opportunities, compensation, and influence unavailable to generalists who spread themselves thin. Secret number 10. Get what you want sooner rather than later. This compound effect creates extraordinary wealth and timing. While most people follow the traditional 40-year retirement plan, the wealthy have uncovered a radical approach that compresses decades into just a few intense years. They call this strategic period wealth windows. Concentrated time frames of laser-focused effort that produced breakthrough results, like a rocket requiring intense initial thrust to escape gravity. Self-made millionaires break free from conventional career paths. They identify high-leverage opportunities where they can create massive value in compressed time frames. As one successful entrepreneur puts it, you can compress decades of traditional work into just a few years by focusing on what truly matters. This mindset flips conventional wisdom about paying your dues. The wealthy recognize that time itself is the ultimate currency, much more precious than money. They work differently, accepting grueling 80-hour weeks during their wealth windows, creating freedom on the other side. Secret number 11. You won't always succeed, and that's the point. While those grueling 80-hour weeks might seem impressive, they hide an uncomfortable truth that wealthy people understand all too well. Behind every success story lies a cemetery of failed attempts. The statistics are sobering. The average entrepreneur fails nearly 4 times before their first successful venture. The wealthy don't fear failure, but embrace it as a strategic advantage. Where most people avoid setbacks, the wealthy recognize failure as their greatest teacher, providing invaluable data impossible to acquire otherwise. Henry Ford endured multiple failed automotive ventures before revolutionizing the industry with Ford Motor Company. What separates the wealthy isn't avoiding failure, but their response to it. They extract lessons, adjust their approach, and try again with improved odds. They understand that setbacks aren't just part of wealth building, they are essential stepping stones to success. Secret number 12. Doubt your work, but never doubt yourself. Beyond embracing failure lies a psychological superpower that distinguishes the wealthy from everyone else: the ability to separate their self-worth from their work performance. This critical distinction allows them to receive brutal criticism without feeling personally attacked. Successful people maintain unwavering confidence even after setbacks. Imagine spending months on a presentation only to have it torn apart by executives. The wealthy think this idea needs refinement, while others think I'm not good enough. Mike Tyson exemplifies this mindset. After losing his $400 million fortune and declaring bankruptcy, what enabled him to rebuild wasn't just learning from mistakes, but maintaining belief in himself despite catastrophic failure. Wealthy individuals cultivate this psychological boundary by surrounding themselves with mentors who reinforce their value while challenging their work. This mental separation creates safety, allowing them to take calculated risks and accept criticism without paralysis. Secret number 13. Your value will change. Plan for it. The wealth journey brings an unexpected transformation that few prepare for. Beyond growing your bank account, your entire relationship with money undergoes a profound evolution. Most people assume their financial values will remain constant. They're wrong. When I made my first million, a self-made millionaire once confided, the possessions I'd worked so hard for held little meaning. Like a chameleon changing colors, as it moves through different environments, your financial values shift with success. What begins as a pursuit of security and freedom often transforms into something deeper. Initially, money represents escape from stress and access to choices. But as wealth accumulates, priorities shift toward legacy, impact, and contribution. The truly sophisticated approach to wealth building isn't just accumulating assets, it's creating flexible financial structures like foundations and impact portfolios that adapt as your relationship with money evolves from what you can get to what you can give. True wealth creation isn't about pinching pennies or following conventional wisdom. It's about leverage, mindset shifts, and strategic action that most financial education simply doesn't teach. The ultimate truth is that wealth means freedom, the ability to make choices aligned with your deepest values without financial constraints. It's having the power to design a life on your terms instead of one dictated by necessity. Your journey begins with knowledge and decisive action. Throughout these 13 wealth secrets, we've seen how mindset and strategy transform finances. Even without significant capital, you can implement several principles immediately. The question is, which secret will you implement first on your journey to freedom?